Hey guys, this is Trustfall Productions. We're doing this fun new series. It is our tutorial series. I'm Ryan, this is Will.
Hey, I'm here too, guys.
We are joined by the amazing Jeremiah Godfrey. He's going to be filming and editing this, so we're very excited to be working with him. Our first episode is going to be about lighting.
Yep. Let's do that. So if you see this light right here, that's like our main source. But then if you come over here, you can see this right here. It's a filler. So essentially what's happening, if you come around to this side of the table, you can see Ryan's face. Primary light is over here, giving us this nice soft light on this side of his face. You can see a bit of shadows that carry over. There's this nice soft fill here. But if I just unplug that real quick, you're gonna see it's much more dramatic. It's not necessarily threatening because it is a diffused light. If I were to remove the diffusion from this light, all of a sudden it looks a lot harsher. It seems like a more threatening environment. But the diffusion adds kind of like this family-friendly, safe vibe to it. And then this fill just kind of adds a little more depth to his face. Now, there was a third variable to that I didn't mention, which is the sunlight. I left the blinds open because it does add a nice fill to the room. But I'm gonna close that and then we're just gonna see what happens. So you see, all we did was cut out the sunlight and this background area just kind of like became much darker. And then if we were to go back to that harsh light, remove the fill, all of a sudden it kind of looks like a scary environment. It looks like he's being interrogated or something. Or better yet, if we were to make this just one bulb instead of the 6 that are here, what we could do is make it a whole lot more intense in just a few seconds. All I'm doing is just moving around lights, unplugging things, getting rid of light, and adding light back. And it just changes the environment entirely. All right, so all I'm doing is opening these blinds again because I just want to point out how it changes the room. So essentially, sunlight is at a cooler color temperature, which means it's at daylight balance. So the entire room has got this blue hue to it. But this source right here, the main light that I use for this setup right here, if I were to unplug it, you know, it's just a lot darker, a lot flat. You notice the room's blue and it's got all that warm hue is gone, but I'm plugging it right back in. So now we have warm colors and we have cool colors bouncing around the room, which adds this color contrast, which makes this entire thing more interesting. If we were to just have just this light here as the primary, everything would be orange, it'd not be as interesting. I just wanted to point that out because that's something that a lot of people don't think about when lighting is color contrast. They just worry about light itself. All right, so last thing I wanted to show you is a lighting tutorial that you could just do at home. So let's say you're just trying to film an audition tape or just a short film and you don't have expensive lights or you don't know how to make a light yourself. I'm just gonna show you how to do a really cool setup of lights with no lighting equipment at all. So I'm just gonna turn this lamp back off. Okay, here it is. Here's the best, most affordable, awesomest way to light anything ever. All you have to do is set your subject in front of a window and open the blinds. If you look, his face has this nice, soft light coming across it. It's gonna have a little bit darker area on the other side, but it's a nice depth to it still because sunlight is bouncing around in the room and it's lighting up the background as well. And if you notice, look at the colors on this picture here. Like, these colors are accurate to what this picture actually looks like. And that has to do with CRI, which is Color Renditioning Index. So if you were to buy a light or build a light, your CRI value is not going to be as high as the sunlight because we use the sun to measure everything for light because it's our primary source. The entire globe's primary source of light is the sun. So essentially, these colors that are bouncing off of this are accurate. See, when we see color, it's what is bouncing off of. It's the light that is bouncing off of. So when you buy a light that might even have a high CRI value, it's gonna have like say 96 plus CRI value. What they're showing you is the highest number. Now, light is a wave, so you have blues, you have reds, you have all these different hues, and it's going to give you the highest value is what that CRI is being rated at. So you see a 96 CRI, but that's really just the measurement for blue. You might have it in the 40s for reds. But if you look at sunlight, it's going to be good across the board. We have nice yellows, greens, blues, whatever this is right here. We've got nice red there. So what's awesome about sunlight is it's free, it's easily accessible, and all you have to do is set your subject next to a window or whatever it is, and it's just going to look great. All right, so last thing I want to talk about is hot spots with sunlight. So if you look right here in this, right here, you can see there's like really harsh light. It comes in overexposed. Also, if you look at the wall there, I'm bouncing something off of this little filter. You see that hot spot of light. And you get stuff like that from sunlight all the time because of how powerful of a light it is. There's a car over here that's got a hot spot of light bouncing off of it. Don't think you can see it on camera, it's just too far away. But essentially, there are some tricks to get rid of those hot spots or glares or reflections, and it has to do with polarizing filters. And essentially what it does, it helps cut out certain angles of light to remove those hot spots, because essentially that hot spot is the sunlight bouncing off at a certain angle, and it's hitting your lens or your eyes at just the right angle, because you can get rid of hot spots just by moving around sometimes. So what this filter does, it cuts out certain angles of light, so that you're not getting as many hot spots or reflections bouncing off of stuff. It's not a perfect fix, but sometimes it can fix it. All right, so if you look at this little hot spot right here, Jeremiah is just moving the polarizing filter, and you can see it literally get smaller and larger as he moves the filter around, and that just has to do with the angle of light bouncing off of it. Yeah, so that's just another quick tip. Sometimes they can get you out of a jam. Other times it's not really going to do anything, because there's no real guarantee when it comes to light, because it is a wave slash particle. It's the most confusing thing in the world, but it's also the thing we need most when it comes to film.
Thank you guys so much for watching this. Please stay tuned for next week's
Subscribe. You gotta subscribe.
video. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you to Jeremiah for his awesome help.
You said my line.
Have a great day.